Hello, folks. This is Greg Gilbert, host of Python's Paradise. Still enjoying Toronto. I love Toronto. And flying solo mostly for the rest of my trip. I met up with Lisa Langlois and we did the road trip to Niagara Falls. And she's getting some film work. So we both got separate hotel rooms, and she was studying for scripts. And she's got quite a bit of work coming up, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she's got coming up. But I was happy to spend some time with her on that because we usually road trip. I rent the car, she drives, and so anyway, normally, she is my main connection when I'm in Toronto, but she's off to a shoot. Good luck to you, Lisa. But rather than go home, I'm set to go home on Friday, November 1st. So I'm like, I don't want to go back to New Brunswick that quickly. I don't care how much they bitch back New Brunswick about Toronto. I love this city. I'm going to stay my full trip. I'm going to hopefully have a day to spend with Creepy Ghoul Ferris and maybe some other people. I'm going to reach out to some people, see if they're getting some hangout time. Shout out to Chris from Chris from aka Max from Blood Opera, who was under the weather. I didn't get to see him at Frightmare in the Falls, but got some stuff. I want to do my little haul video here because I got some really cool stuff while I was at Frightmare in the Falls, and I'm going to address it. Yes. Now, before I talk about autographs, I have a pretty bad habit of getting stuff that really does me no good, but being a collector, I know if you're a collector, your chances are you're watching this. But I like collecting LJN wrestling figures. And I have done a lot of them. I've got a lot of them, excuse me. And I bought about 8 or 9 while I was in Toronto at Frightmare in the Falls. And I'm going to show these off. I got a couple that I've had before. In fact, let me dig through here. The guy was saying to me, he says, you must have a lot of them to skip over a lot of them. And yeah. I guess it was 70 in that run, those rubber figures, but I got Jake the Snake Roberts. To find him with Damien is rare. And I grabbed him. By the way, I got a reduced price on these too, so he gave me a bargain on the ones I grabbed, but I got Jake the Snake, and he's got Damien right there in there with him, so it's rare to find them with accessories. But anyway, there's Jake. I've got Jake the Snake already, but I did not have him with Damien. Finding these characters with their accessories is rare. I've got 3 Terry Funks home. One that's in perfect condition, but this one's got the hat. Got the hat too. So I got Terry Funk. This is my 4th Terry Funk. Still no fucking branding iron though. He's supposed to have a branding iron, the way he used on the Junkyard Dog during that feud. But I got a hat. Let's see what else we got here. I've got the Dynamite Kid. In fact, I might have 2 Dynamite Kid from flea markets. I finally now got Davy Boy Smith. So now I got both of the British Bulldogs. I grabbed him. And another wrestler I got. The Birdman, Coco Beware. Didn't win a lot of matches, but I gotta say, this figure looks great. No Frankie the Parrot, though. Unfortunately, no Frankie. But I grabbed him because I didn't have Coco. Coco was really great in the ring, had great top rope drop kick. My biggest issue with him is he rarely won, you know? But anyway, I got some managers I didn't have before. Like, I've got Mr. Fuji, I've got Captain Lou Albano. I got a few of them, but here are ones I didn't have. Classy Freddie Blassie. Classy Freddie Blassie himself, manager of the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov at WrestleMania 1 to capture the tag team titles. Don't have his cane, though. Don't have his cane. I kind of liked it when he wore the pink outfit, though. Now, he was the one that always said, "Pencil neck geeks, you pencil neck geeks." Yes. Luscious Johnny Valiant. Not a very high-profile manager, but managed the dream team of Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, which I have both of. So, and they were both in that bin there at Frightmare, but I wasn't going to buy them all. I was going to go after what I didn't have. And I finally got Bobby the Brain Heenan. The Brain. Keep it simple for the humanoids, those ham and eggers. And he's got the scribble on his outfit. Look at that. Which I guess is a variant for him. So I never had Bobby Heenan, and it looks like it's in good shape. And one more I got. I got a couple of Randy Macho Man Savages home. And there was a couple in that bin. But this is the first time finding Miss Elizabeth. No skirt, though. Finding them with the skirt, like I said, finding Jake with the snake and Terry Funk with the hat. I grabbed them because of that, but finding them with their accessories is hard. But there is Miss Elizabeth. Yeah. So I was happy to get hold of those, and because I collect those. And if you go on Etsy, Etsy does customs. Like I've got a Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig done on Etsy through them, and it turned out really well. And I wish they'd bring these back. 'Cause you could throw these down a flight of stairs and not harm them. Maybe some paint loss, but you're not gonna harm them. Like these were just fun. So I've been collecting them for a while, and I must have darn near most of them now. Anyway, for autograph stuff, well, I got the VIP Miss 45 t-shirt. VIP for Frightmare in the Falls. And this bag, we got I wear these, a nice Frightmare in the Falls beanie. I've got a couple of them now. And I have a, this looks nice. This t-shirt. I like this. Look at this. Frightmare in the Falls t-shirt. Look at that. I love it. This is great. I got a nice Frightmare in the Falls t-shirt here. Put that back in there to keep this thing balanced. Okay, and I got some autograph stuff. I brought some Blu-rays with me, but I only got 2 Blu-rays signed. Only 2. Because normally they got, like, stuff, pictures there and stuff. So, my Killer Clowns from Outer Space Blu-ray I did not get signed. Thanksgiving I did not get signed. And Child's Play 2 I did not get signed. I did get these signed, because I got a lot of my Friday the 13th box set movies signed. So Tracy Savage signed this from Part 3. I love that box set, by the way. It says, to Greg, best podcast host ever, from Tracy Savage. Now, I appreciate her saying that. She's been on the show 5 times. She comes on Boxing Day. and it makes my Christmas more complete. So she recognized me right away when I saw her, and I appreciate it. Now, am I the greatest podcast host ever? No, I'm not. I think there's more than enough room for everybody. But I appreciated hearing that. I'd say most of the movies I have in that box set have got at least one signature on them, give or take. And this one already, Friday the 13th, the final chapter from last year at Frightmare, already has Corey Feldman. It's got Kimberly Beck. It's got Eric Anderson, who we lost, and the Camilla and Carrie Moore, the twins. Well, now it's got Tom Savini. I got Tom Savini to sign this. Look at that. Got Corey Feldman back there from last year. So this is my favorite of the franchise. This and Jason Lives are my two favorites. And but Ted White is my favorite Jason, and I got a signed hockey mask from him. Never met him in person, but I had him on the podcast twice. What a phenomenal interview guest. But got Tom Savini. Got him to sign that there. I asked him about Ted White, and asked him about Joe Spinell from Maniac, and yeah. So those are the only Blu-rays I got signed. Because I find lately they got so many nice photos on their table. Excuse me. Just getting over a cold. That I find that I get photos because I always have so many nice photos. So, what do we have? Actually, I'm going to do something different here. I got one other piece of merch. I don't buy a lot of merch when I'm there. I go to the vendors. I'm a big autograph collector, but there was one place that was doing custom photos. And I got this done. This was on their wall. Suspiria, Jessica Harper from Suspiria. I've interviewed Jessica Harper. I really like her. And so I purchased this from them. I got their cards somewhere. They do customs. So I told them they need to get some Dress to Kill, Miss 45, and Class of 1984 on their wall. So there you go. I got that. I would love to meet Jessica Harper. I've had her on the show, and it was a fun interview to do. But that was one I had done. Now, here is the last interview I did on my podcast before coming here was with Rye Barrett from In a Violent Nature. And unfortunately, the Blu-ray wasn't anywhere back home in Fredericton. So I got him to sign this. And it says, "To Greg, beware of Johnny," Ray Barrett. So I got that signed. It's a shot from the movie. I told him I was going to meet him. He probably had outside the kid from Clown, the most inexpensive autograph, but he was a lot of fun to meet. Okay. I met August Keys. Got the little Scream TV thing from her. Okay, what do we have? All right, folks. Okay, here's how this all went down. Let me see. I'm going to alphabetize these a little bit. Just because I wanna. Just because I wanna. Just because I wanna. I'll tell you who. Well, actually, I'll get into it. When I get to the photo. Okay, good. You know what? I'll do these in order. I've seen them. Makes it less hectic. The first person I went to, of course, folks, was Tracy Savage. And boy, is she gorgeous. She signed this for free for me. It's the original Friday the 13th Part 3 script. I got the script for Part 1 from Adrienne King as well. It says original script. Thanks for all the great conversations, Tracy Savage, Debbie. So she signed that one for free for me because I got a lot of merch from her off her table. Yeah, Tracy got a lot of, of course it says Crystal Japan because, of course, that's what it went under to keep away bystanders, I guess. But sign that script for me. Now, I got a lot of signatures from Tracy. She is as gorgeous and beautiful as she was in 1982. She still looks beautiful, and I'm so glad I've had her on 5 Boxing Days, But I got this picture. It says, Greg, I vote for the hammock. Tracy Savage, Debbie. There she is in the hammock reading Fangoria magazine. Boy, she's beautiful. She's still beautiful. I might have made her blush a few times. Maybe. It says, to Greg. Hey, the van's on fire. Tracy Savage, Debbie. This is, I think just a photo that happened just on set, but I always liked this picture of her with the braid there along the side of her head and beautiful smile. Yeah, she got a lot of business from me. She wasn't an overly expensive autograph, but... And then, of course, this shot to Greg, Tracy Savage, Debbie. Friday the 13th, Part 3. Can you blame me for having a crush on this woman growing up? She was what I remembered after the first time watching this movie way back in the 80s. And, yeah, I was happy to meet her in person. After that, I sauntered over to the Killer Clowns section, and I met another absolutely stunning female, Suzanne Snyder. I haven't had her on the show yet. I hope to. Says, Dear Greg, whatever you are, I like it. Love, Suzanne Snyder. Deb, XO. Another Deb. Look at that. That's from Weird Science. But that was a headshot I could not resist. That is just a beautiful photo of her. Look at that. So I got that. And then I met Tom Savini and got him to sign my Friday the 13th Blu-ray. I didn't get any photos off his table, but he was shooting elastic bands. I told him, shoot one at James Ponce, one of the promoters. I wonder if he got him. But I did say to him, I said, I saw something online that asked the question, who started the rubber band wars? And Tom Savini pointed at himself, and I pointed at him. I knew Tom Savini started those. Now, back about 2 years ago, I met Danielle Harris of Halloween 4, and I got her to sign that Blu-ray, which I bought right there. I didn't buy Halloween 5 on Blu-ray because I just think the movie sucks. And I just went with a photo of her. It says, Happy Halloween, XO, Danielle Harris, Jamie. I got a nice photo. I gotta say, Danielle Harris, another one. She is stunning. She's beautiful. Excuse me. She was there with Scout Tyler Compton. So I got that. After that, I met Christina Lease, who she was there with Alex Vincent. I debated getting my Blu-ray for Child's Play 2 signed, and it probably would have been a good signature, but I went with this picture. It says, to Greg, you've seen dolls that pee, this one bleeds. Christina Lee's Kyle. So I got that picture of her and Chucky. So, yeah. I had some fun chatting with her. If I see her again, I might get Child's Play 2 Blu-ray signed. I met Warrington Gillette again. I met him a few years ago, and I got my Friday the 13th Part 2 Blu-ray signed. I got a photo of him coming through the window at Amy Steele. So I got this picture here signed, simply because Amy Steele is in it. It says, to Greg, die bitches, which is what he wrote on the other picture. Jason to Warrington Gillette. Wish I could have met Steve Dash. I've had Warrington on the show before. I plan to have him on again. Brandy McKenzie, who was his handler there, was a hoot. Was an absolute hoot. So there you go. So I got him with Amy Steele. Then I met David Cadams, who definitely wants to come on the show again. I had him on 2017. This one here says, to Greg, heavy shit. David Cadams, Chuck. I was hooking him to sign the Blu-ray, but I saw this photo and I had to go for it because it's right when he says that line. So I got that signed. Him saying heavy shit. I asked him. I said, "Does a hotel reservations provide an outhouse with a moon cut in the door?" And he said, "Nope, didn't happen." He said he might have to complain about that. I met C.J. Graham before. Haven't had him on the show yet. Last time I met him, I had Nancy McLaughlin on speakerphone to chat with him. This is a beanie I got from Nancy McLaughlin. It says Elizabeth Lives. And but I decided to go meet C.J. Graham again and pitch my podcast. It says Greg, C.J. Graham, Jason, 6, 18 kills. And I told him, I said, Tom Matthews puts 1 kill. But didn't Jennifer Cook make that kill? He said Tom Matthews was a pussy. That was funny. I've had Tom Matthews on the show 3 times. He's always great. And I met him at Horrorama, and I met him at Frightmare in the Falls. Love Tom Matthews. And here he is holding up an arm. C.J. Graham. I met C.J. Graham last time. He was at Frightmare in the Falls, and I got a photo of him where he's standing up on the RV after it flipped over. So I had to grab this one here. It's a great shot of him with that arm. Now, I always get my brother Andrew an autograph when I go. When I was at Chiller back in April, I got him a William Shatner autograph because he watched our parents when they're terminally ill. We lost Dad in 2022, but Andrew would take care of them, and he takes care of Skittles, my cat, while I'm here in Toronto. So I was going to go after Richard Dreyfuss. He was 3rd on my list to meet, but Richard Dreyfuss and the Jaws folks canceled. And Sam Raimi had canceled as well, and Tony Todd. Mark Patton is another one that was a no-show. But Ted Raimi still showed, and I got my brother. My brother likes Evil Dead movies, so I got him this shot. It says, to Andrew, you see the Saw, Ted Raimi. So I got him this, and it's got Bruce Campbell in the shot. My brother's a big Bruce Campbell fan, so I got him that photo right there. Now, I met Shawnee Smith. She had the biggest line the entire weekend. And this says, to Greg, Shawnee Smith, Amanda. Look at that photo. That's not from Saw, but it's just a great photo of her. Look at that. She's beautiful. And she was one of these ones that was able to do selfies, like operate it herself. But I said to her, I said, "You're in one of my favorite John Candy movies, Who's Harry Crumb?" And I pitched to her the idea, what if Harry Crumb was investigating the Saw franchise? So, how much do you want to bet he would have solved the jigsaw cases totally by accident? She wrote that down. She thought that was just the greatest idea. She said, "Japers, it's too bad John's not alive because that would be so epic to do Harry Crumb investigating the Jigsaw murders." Can you imagine? Rest in peace, John Candy. And also, rest in peace, David Harris from the Warriors, who passed away this past weekend. I met him at Chiller back in April, and I've had him on my show twice. I'm so sad that he's gone. I didn't even know that was coming because he was very active online. Now, Eli Roth was extremely expensive for me to meet, but I did meet a couple of the beautiful women of Thanksgiving. One was Jenna Warren, who looked absolutely stunning. This says, "To Greg, I promise I'll watch." Jenna Warren. Why is she what she promising to watch? I introduced her, along with people her handlers, to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Here she is right there. I saw that in the theaters, and for the films he directed, this is Eli Roth's best film he directed. And yeah, she was beautiful. Very pretty girl. And I met, I'm hoping I say her last name right. It looks like it's pronounced cliche or cliche, but Karen Cliche. Greg, save me! Karen Cliche, Kathleen. She was great to meet. Look at that. What a great shot for her being dragged. I thought she was actually going to survive because she put up a fight. I said to her, I said, "Thanksgiving for us Canadians was last weekend. Where were you? I didn't buy a turkey. I thought you were going to show up." She laughed. And there she is. I also, for the first time ever, actually, nope, I'm not going to get to that yet. I got a few other autographs. I did some photo ops, but I'll get to that in a minute. I met Grant Kramer. I didn't meet the two killer clowns. Money was running short, but I met Grant Kramer. And he was so happy that I loved Willy's Wonderland. But this says, "To Greg, Perfect Door, Grant Kramer." We talked a lot about Willy's Wonderland. Of course, he was Willy. But there he is with Suzanne Snyder. I got that. And I met Scout Tyler Compton. And I had a hard time figuring out what picture I wanted. I got this one. "To Greg, Scout Tyler Compton. Played Laurie Strode in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies." Look at that. What a great picture. I also did my very first ever photo ops. I got a photo op with Tracy Savage. This one says, "Greg, to my favorite podcast host and good friend, Tracy Savage, Debbie, Part 3. I'd never done a photo op before, and I thought Tracy Savage would be a good one to start with, so I got that done. And I did another one. I did one with Suzanne Snyder. And where I like the Doubtfire Face Challenge for suicide and depression awareness, when she said, "Club, gun, or pie," I said the pie. She has a fake pie there she's about to smack me in the face with. It says, "Watch out for the pie. Love, Suzanne Snyder, Debbie." I love that background. Look at that. Look at that. And she's about to smack a pie in my face there. I had fun meeting Suzanne Snyder. So, folks, that is my haul. I'm going to end this at a 30-minute mark. Yes,